All right, performance athletes. We're here with Coach Caitlin, and she's a nutritionist. And what we're going to talk about is what you're going to eat before and after you work out, and then maybe some just kind of general rules for teenagers to kind of what should they be eating. I know that Chick-fil-A is definitely
That's a no-no.
It's not on there. It's not good, right, Sharina? Sharina, that's not good.
What about grilled nuggets from Chick-fil-A?
Grilled nuggets are not good.
Don't care.
Okay.
Chick-fil-A nuggets is a no.
So let me ask you the first question.
Yeah.
These kids are going to be coming in. What should they be eating, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours before they're going to work out?
Yeah. So what I like to say is you want to eat sort of a small meal about 1 to 2 hours before.
Yeah.
Have some nice protein in there. A little bit of fat is good, and carbohydrates. Basically, eat a little bit of meat and some veggies, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
The reason we want to do this before is because we want our bodies to go ahead and be able to have broken down.
So how much more though? Like, are we talking about like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours?
So I like 3 hours is a little bit too much.
Yeah.
An hour can be getting a little bit close depending on the kind of workout you're doing. If you're going to go for a run, I wouldn't do it an hour before. But if you're doing some heavy lifting, an hour is probably okay. So in between that 2 to 1 hour before working out window is pretty good.
Okay, so let's just say 2 hours as a general rule. Okay, so give us a good example of what would have like some good carbohydrates and what would have some good protein.
Okay, so what I would probably do is maybe have half a chicken breast. You can bake it, grill it, not from Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, no Chick-fil-A.
Or, even a piece of steak about that big would be really good. You could do that too. And then throw some veggies in there. You could have some spinach. You could have the squashes in season right now. That's really awesome. And then also maybe a half of a small sweet potato would be a good thing to add in there too, depending again on your own stomach and kind of how you feel with your working out.
Okay.
That sweet potato can provide a little bit of quicker carbohydrates, particularly again if we're going to go do some things that are a little bit more carb burning activities.
Okay. So my other question is, let's just say that they haven't eaten all day, or they haven't eaten in a couple of hours, and then they're going to come and see me in about an hour. What do we got here? What do we got here?
So for some people, they can actually train without having eaten all day. Some people. Now teenagers, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. I would say at that point actually focus on eating a good quantity of meat, because again you don't want the stomach to be totally shocked. But you do have to be careful, because you're about to go train in an hour, and when you start training, the blood actually leaves the stomach and goes to the muscles to do work. So your body's not going to have a little bit of problems of digesting, so you might get a little sick to your stomach if you eat too much before you work out.
What about like having a bar? Like
so
a Quest bar or...
That can help. I'm not a huge fan, honestly, of Quest bars, but I really love what are called Epic bars. You can, your parents can get them at Whole Foods or Sprouts. They are meat-based bars. If you need something that's a little bit maybe softer on your stomach, RX bars are really great.
Okay. So I know that you can get actually those Epic bars on Amazon for sure. You can get them at Whole Foods for sure.
Sprouts for sure.
Sprouts also. So RX bars, where can you get the RX bars?
You can get those at Green Grocer on Lower Greenville. They're the only place in town that sells them, which is sort of a little bit of a frustration. But I know the
frustrating.
other places are looking to get them. We're going to hope to carry them
Can
here.
we get the RX bars on Amazon?
Yeah, you can get them on the RX Bar website. I think maybe on Amazon too.
Okay.
Definitely on the website.
So the RX bars, it's just rxbars.com?
Yep.
Or? Okay.
The other thing actually that you could do too is you can get a packet of almond butter.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really, really great before if you want something.
So almond butter.
Almond butter. You can buy packets. Just read the label. Make sure there's not a whole lot of gunk in there, sugar and stuff like that. That's a no-no.
Maybe explain what gunk is. Because they're going to be like, what is gunk?
So gunk is basically any word that you don't understand. That doesn't look like English. That looks like it was probably in a lab. That's gunk. So basically, if you read the label, I want it to say almonds, maybe a little bit of salt, and possibly like palm oil.
Yeah.
That's it.
No sugar.
No sugar.
Wow.
No sugar in
See,
there.
that's a big one. You don't want to use sugar. Because what's going to happen is you're going to have an insulin spike, and then you're going to crash in the middle of the workout, and you're going to be like, Dr. Wu, I can't work out. And I'm going to be like, why? And you're going to be like, because I ate a bunch of sugar. And I'm like, I told you in the video!
Same thing. Like, you don't need to be drinking Gatorade before your workout. It's going to cause that sugar crash too.
Okay, that's a great segue. What should they be drinking? What's their fluid intake? Because we're in the middle of summer. What should be the drinking before, working out with me before an athletic event?
Water. Really, water. If you want to add some electrolytes in there, pinch of salt is really all you need, and that'll help. Don't make it salt water. We're not trying to drink the ocean.
Right.
Just a tiny pinch of salt allows your body to absorb it even better.
Okay.
If you do feel like you need a little bit of extra, you can do a small amount of Gatorade, but I do mean like a small amount. Like literally a splash of Gatorade in the water is enough.
Okay.
You don't need to be drinking an entire one. That's a lot of sugar.
Okay, so let's just say that I have like a 175-pound boy.
Okay.
How much fluid should we be taking per like pound, or average boys are about that size.
Right.
So how much water intake should you be doing per pound?
So people have a couple of different ideas about that.
Yeah.
Some would say that you basically need to be drinking all the time as you go.
Yeah.
My big thing is if you're drinking water and that's your primary intake throughout the day, you drink to your thirst.
Yeah.
However, if people want a guideline,
Yeah.
I would say half your body weight in ounces a day is a really good place to start of water.
Okay, so if I weigh 100 pounds, then I should be drinking at least 50 ounces of water.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So that again, let's just recap everything that we just talked about before our workout.
Yes.
Before our workout, like 2 hours before, we should be eating something with a little bit of carbohydrate, which could be like sweet potatoes.
Yeah, you could do a cut up apple. That's good.
Apple.
A little bit of banana if you want. Have a banana.
Okay, and some type of protein, right? So like that could be a chicken breast, half a chicken breast. That could be a little bit of steak.
Small bit of steak is fine. Some if you like fish, you can do a little fish too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And then if you're really jammed for time, you only got an hour, maybe 45 minutes. Almond butter is a good way of getting some like protein, a little bit of intake. What else?
Talked about those Epic bars. We talked about those RX bars too. Yep, those are really good as well.
Anything else that like maybe?
You could actually go with an apple or a banana. Those are going to give you a little bit of quick energy. It is going to be a little bit more sugary, fast burning, but again, if you haven't eaten anything all day, that's not a bad place to start.
Okay.
And try and at least get a bite of protein, if nothing else.
Right. And then for fluid intake, we should be doing basically whatever you weigh, divide by 2, and that's how many ounces that you should do. So as an example, a 100-pound person should be drinking about 50 ounces of water.
Yep.
Okay. So now let's talk about what do we eat after we work out.
Well, what's funny is what we eat after our workout is actually pretty similar to what we eat before our workout. Again, there's a lot of misinformation out there. There are a lot of people who are talking about, I need to get my protein shake in immediately afterwards. You really don't. It's okay. As long as you're eating enough protein throughout the day, your body's going to take care of itself. And actually eating that protein before allows our body to break down the nutrients so that they're readily available, so that after your workout, your body can already use it and rebuild the muscle.
So actually, it's better if we actually eat protein beforehand, because
100%.
now protein molecules are actually in your body floating around there. When your body needs to repair itself, boom,
100%.
take it in.
Yep.
Okay.
So again, on the back end, a lot of people, particularly in the hot heat, our stomachs are really sour afterwards. So what I would do is, again, focus on drinking some water, getting that rehydrated, pinch of salt, maybe a splash of Gatorade. And that would be another time with immediately afterwards, if you start feeling kind of hungry, you can go with some almond butter right there. But an hour, 2 hours after your workout, eat another small meal very similar to that one before. Proteins, carbohydrates.
So again, how soon should I be eating after I work out? Like right after I work out? Like within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, within an hour, within a half an hour?
I would say, kind of base it on yourself. If your stomach still feels really like, I just don't feel like I could eat right now, then don't force it. As I mentioned before, when we're working out, our blood is going to our muscles to work. It's not in our gut. It's not here to digest anything. So there's a reason you're not hungry after you work out. So wait till that settles down a little bit. For most people, it's about an hour. And that's a good place to go ahead and start getting some food back in your system.
All right. So just as a general guideline, after you work out, if you're not feeling too hungry, don't eat. Drink some water, get rehydrated. Within the hour, though, you probably should eat a little bit of protein, a little bit of carbohydrate.
And a little bit of fat in there is good, too. The thing is, I do want to be clear, when I say carbohydrate, I'm not saying bread. I don't want you to go, eat a bunch of bread, have a bunch of cereal. That's not the carbohydrate I'm talking about. I'm talking about carbohydrates from fruit and vegetables.
Right. Give us some really good examples of some
go-tos. Sweet potato is 100% one of my favorites. Again, right now squash is a really good one. Tomatoes are really great. There's a lot, we're wonderful and in season right now too. So those would be some of my great ones. On the fat side, avocado is a really good one too.
So that's a great thing that we should also mention, is that we do want to add a little bit of fat into our diet. Fats are totally fine.
Yes, love them.
We want, what, about 20%, 30%?
You know, I go a little higher on the fat for most people. I'm closer to that 30% on fat. Also, because if we're eating good quality meats, we get good quality fat in there too. And one of the things they've shown is that actually having fat with your protein helps your body absorb more protein.
Right. So then, again, you know, loose translation is more protein in your body means that there's more readily, your body can build more protein on your muscle, meaning more muscle, dudes.
Yep,
Come
exactly.
on. All right.
For our guys and for our ladies, we want muscles. We want to be strong.
Right. Okay. So I think that's a good start. If you guys want to have more information on nutrition and all that fun stuff, how do they get a hold of you?
So my website is ingredientsfordinner.com, and my Instagram is also @ingredientsfordinner.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. If you need any more information from me, either email me, message me, DM me. You know all my Instagram stuff. It should be like, Sharina's going to put it right here, right, Sharina? Sharina's going to put it right here. And I'll see you guys later. Cheers.
Bye.